Hello friends, welcome back. In this tutorial we will study about characterizing schedules based on recoverability. When we characterize schedules based on recoverability, we get different types of schedules. One of them is recoverable schedules. In a recoverable schedule, no committed transaction ever needs to be rolled back. Once a transaction has been committed, then that transaction never needs to be rolled back. A schedule S is recoverable if no transaction T in S commits until all transactions T dash that have written an item that T reads have committed. So in a recoverable schedule, if a transaction T1 reads a data item X which was written by some other transaction T2, then the transaction T1 cannot commit before transaction T2 commits. A shorthand notation for describing schedule uses the symbols R, W, C, and A for the operations read item, write item, commit, and abort respectively, and appends as subscript the transaction ID or transaction number to each operation in the schedule. For example, consider the schedule SC. Now see its first operation. Here R specifies that it is a read operation. 1 specifies the transaction ID at subscript. Here as a subscript 1, it specifies the transaction ID or transaction number. It means this read operation is performed by transaction T1. Here X specifies the data item. So this first operation specifies that transaction T1 performs read operation on X. Now see the second operation. Second operation is specified transaction T1 writes X. Third operation, transaction T2 reads X. So here you can see that transaction T2 reads a data item X which was written by transaction T1. In this schedule you can see this operation C2, it means transaction T2 commits. Here in this schedule you can see, in this schedule SC you can see that transaction T2 commits before the transaction T1 commits, and transaction T2 reads a data item X which was written by transaction T1. So this schedule SC is not a recoverable schedule because transaction T2 reads item X which was written by transaction T1, and then T2 commits before T1 commits. So if transaction T1 aborts after T2 commits, then in the schedule what will happen, then the value of X which the transaction T2 has read, that value will no longer valid, and the transaction T2 must be aborted after it had been committed. Now see this another transaction ST. So here first operation you can see that transaction T1 reads X. Second operation, transaction T1 writes X. Third operation, transaction T2 read X. So here transaction T2 reads a data item X which was written by transaction T1. Now here transaction T1 is committed before transaction T2. Here you can see the C1 is before C2. So transaction T1 is committed before transaction T2, and transaction T2 reads a data item which was written by transaction T1. So this schedule ST is a recoverable schedule. So in a recoverable schedule, no committed transaction ever needs to be rolled back. However, it is possible for a phenomenon known as cascading rollback or cascading abort. In cascading rollback, an uncommitted transaction has to be rolled back because it read an item from a transaction that failed. For example, consider this schedule SE. First, transaction T1 reads X, then transaction T1 write X, then transaction T2 read X. So transaction T2 reads a data item X which was written by transaction T1. And then here you can see after here you can see this A1. It means that transaction T1 has been aborted, right? So here the transaction T1 has been aborted, and here you can see R2X, third operation. It is specified that the transaction T2 reads a data item X which was written by transaction T1, right? W1X specifies. that X was written by T1. So in this case, the transaction T2 has to be rolled back because it read item X which was written by transaction T1, and transaction T1 has been aborted. So the transaction T2 will have to be rolled back. So cascading rollback can be quite time consuming since numerous transactions can be rolled back. For example, suppose there is a transaction T1 and it has written item X, and item X has been read by different transactions T2, T3, T4 and so many transactions, and after that transaction T1 has been aborted which had written the item X. Then after that all the transaction who read the value of X which was written by transaction T1, these all transactions will have to be rolled back. Therefore it is important to characterize the schedules where cascading rollback is guaranteed not to occur. So if every transaction in the schedule read only items that were written by committed transaction, then no cascading rollback will occur, and such type of schedule is said to be cascadeless. All cascadeless schedules are recoverable. So what happens in a cascadeless schedule? In cascadeless schedule, every transaction in the schedule read only those items that were written by committed transactions. So next is strict schedule. Strict schedule is more restrictive type of schedule. In this type of schedule, transaction can neither read nor write an item X until the last transaction that wrote the data item X has been committed. All strict transactions are cascadeless.